Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're looking at the career of an amazing scientist, Prabhat Ranjan.
And we've got a great source for this one.
We do. We're going right to the source, using Ranjan's own blog post to trace his journey through science.
A first-hand account. I love that.
Me too. It gives us this really personal look at a life that's just dedicated to exploration and problem solving.
It's inspiring stuff no matter what you're into. If you love science, technology, even just hearing about people who are passionate about what they do, you're going to love this.
Definitely. We're going to cover so much ground today, everything from nuclear fusion.
Which is a pretty hot topic, so to speak.
You and your puns. But seriously, folks, we'll be talking fusion, assistive technologies for people with disabilities.
Even a connection to India's moon mission.
I know, right? So buckle up, get ready for a fascinating ride. Now, Ranjan starts his blog by taking us back to his childhood.
Oh yeah, his early influences, super important.
He talks about being this quiet observer, learning by watching his older brother.
It's interesting how those early relationships shape us, isn't it?
For sure. And even then, you see his focus on really understanding how things work. He mentions being fascinated by photography, but not just taking pictures,
Right, not just the artistic side.
Exactly. He was interested in the technical side. He even figured out how to take pictures in a dark room using just a table lamp.
That's ingenuity right there.
It wasn't about the perfect photo, it was about understanding the mechanics behind it.
Classic scientist mindset, figuring out how stuff works.
Totally. So it's no surprise that he excelled in math and science in school, even won a national award for a science project using, get this, calculus and hydrodynamics.
Wow, I'm pretty sure I was just trying to figure out algebra back then.
Right, this guy was on another level. And that interest in physics eventually led him to astrophysics, the study of the universe.
Makes sense. He was clearly drawn to the big questions.
He even set his sights on UC Berkeley, one of the top programs in the world.
Talk about ambitious.
Yeah, but then something wild happens. The night before he's supposed to leave for Berkeley,
Wait, what? He doesn't go.
he has this realization. He thinks, as amazing as it would be to study the universe at Berkeley, it's not what India needs most at that time.
Wow. Talk about a turning point.
I know, right? So he decides to shift his focus to something more immediately applicable: nuclear fusion and space technology.
Imagine making that decision the night before leaving for one of the most prestigious programs in the world.
It's incredible, right? This is a huge change of plans, all because he felt a responsibility to use his talents where they were needed most.
That speaks volumes about his character.
It really does. And it's quite a contrast too, right? From the vastness of the universe to the power of the sun. Both fascinating, both rooted in physics, but with very different implications.
Now, speaking of fusion, maybe this is a good time to give folks a quick rundown of what it actually is.
Yeah, please do. Break it down for us.
Well, basically, it's the process that powers the sun. You're taking light atoms like hydrogen and fusing them together, and this releases a tremendous amount of energy.
So like trying to create a mini sun here on Earth.
You got it. And it's important because it has the potential to be this clean, almost limitless source of energy.
So if we can figure out fusion, it could revolutionize how we power the world.
That's the dream. It's a huge challenge, but the payoff could be enormous.
Okay, so picture this. Ranjan is back in India, diving headfirst into fusion research.
He's running simulations on supercomputers, all this really complex theoretical work.
But then he hits a snag. The tokamak reactor, that's the device they use for fusion research, at his institute, SINP, it's not performing well.
Oh no, what's the problem?
There's a crucial cleaning system that's needed, but it's years away from being available.
So what does he do? Wait around?
Nope. This is where Ranjan becomes what he calls an accidental experimentalist.
I love that term. What does it mean in this context?
Well, he couldn't just sit around and wait for the solution, right? So he decides to build the cleaning system himself. Yes way. And get this. He did it using only components that were available in India at that time.
That's incredible. Talk about resourcefulness.
I know, right? It just shows his incredible problem-solving skills. He wasn't just a theorist. He was willing to roll up his sleeves and get things done.
It's a reminder that sometimes practical problem solving is just as important as the theory.
So true. He didn't just think about fusion, he actually made things happen.
That's what sets him apart. And where does this amazing scientist turned inventor go from here? Well, let's just say his journey takes a pretty unexpected turn.
You're going to have to wait till after the break to find out what that is.
We'll be right back with more of Prabhat Ranjan's incredible story. Don't go anywhere.
This is turning out to be one wild ride, folks.
Right.
Stick with us. So we left off with Ranjan designing a system to go to the moon.
Right, the LISSEC system for India's Chandrayaan-2 mission.
It's just amazing to me how he goes from exploring outer space to then focusing on our own planet.
It really shows his range, doesn't it? This ability to apply his expertise to such diverse challenges.
Yeah, he starts working with these sensor networks, but this time it's for things like agriculture and tracking wildlife here on Earth.
It's fascinating how technology can bridge those seemingly disparate worlds, space exploration, and understanding life on our own planet.
I mean, it's quite a jump from the moon to monitoring crops and animals.
You might think so, but the underlying principles are often surprisingly similar. And he's not just tracking, squirrels or something.
Oh, no. What kind of animals are we talking about?
We're talking tigers, swamp deer, hill turtles, even purple frogs.
Purple frogs. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What are those, and how do sensors help with tracking them?
Well, purple frogs are this really unique species found only in the Western Ghats of India. They spend most of their lives underground, so they're incredibly difficult to study.
Ah, so I see how sensors would come in handy.
Exactly. Sensor networks allow researchers to monitor their movements and behavior without disturbing their habitat. It's all about using technology for conservation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like he went from exploring the moon to helping us understand and protect life here on Earth.
It highlights this interconnectedness of scientific disciplines, right? What we learn from space exploration can often be applied to solving problems here at home.
It's a beautiful example of that. But Ranjan's commitment to using his knowledge for good doesn't stop there.
Oh, absolutely not. He also starts working on assistive technologies for people with disabilities.
Now, that's something I'm really curious about. What kind of technologies did he develop in this area?
One example is an environment control system that he created. It allows people with limited mobility to control devices in their homes, things like lights, fans, appliances, all through this system.
That's incredible to be able to control your home environment just by, thinking about it?
Exactly. It's about empowering people, improving their quality of life through technology.
I can only imagine how much independence that would give someone. It's such a powerful application of scientific knowledge.
And it's another example of how Ranjan takes these complex concepts and makes them relevant to people's everyday lives. But wait, there's more. His journey takes him into what might be his most mind-boggling work yet. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCI.
BCI. Okay, now we're talking science fiction stuff. What is that exactly?
Oh, I know, right? It sounds futuristic, but it's becoming more and more real. BCI is all about building a bridge between your brain and an external device, allowing you to communicate directly with a computer using just your thoughts.
Hold on. So were we talking about implanting chips in people's brains?
It can be done that way, but it's not always so invasive. There are non-invasive techniques like EEG, which measures brainwaves using sensors on the scalp.
Okay, so less sci-fi movie, more real-world applications.
Exactly, and one of the areas Ranjan is focused on is using BCI to help people in locked-in states.
Locked-in states, what does that mean?
It's a condition where a person is fully conscious but can't move or communicate because of severe paralysis. Imagine being trapped inside your own body, unable to interact with the world. BCI offers a potential solution, a way for these individuals to communicate their thoughts and needs.
That's powerful. It's like giving someone a voice back.
Exactly. And the potential of BCI goes even further. Ranjan's also exploring its use for things like improving learning in children and identifying different types of intelligence.
So it's not just about restoring function, it's about enhancing our abilities too.
Exactly. The possibilities are really vast and still being explored. BCI could revolutionize how we treat neurological disorders, enhance our cognitive abilities, even change how we interact with technology.
It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about.
I agree. There are definitely ethical considerations that need to be addressed as this technology advances.
It feels like we're on the verge of this whole new era of human potential, but we need to proceed thoughtfully.
Absolutely. But what's clear is that Ranjan is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, always with the goal of using knowledge to benefit humanity.
His story is mind-blowing, to say the least. From fusion to the moon, to helping people with disabilities, to BCI. It's incredible. And I keep coming back to this question. What's the common thread that connects all these seemingly disparate fields?
I think it comes down to this insatiable curiosity, a drive to understand how things work and then use that knowledge to solve real-world problems.
It's like he's not afraid to step outside his comfort zone learn new things, connect the dots in ways that others might miss.
And that's incredibly inspiring, isn't it? It shows you don't have to be limited by your field of expertise. You can constantly learn and grow, apply your skills to new challenges.
Ranjan's career path is anything but linear, and that's what makes it so fascinating. It's a reminder that scientific exploration is about following your curiosity and embracing the unexpected.
And that's something we can all take inspiration from.
It's amazing, isn't it, how Ranjan's journey really shows the power of thinking across different fields.
It really is. He doesn't limit himself to just one area, does he? Always looking for connections.
Yeah, and using that to solve real problems, whether it's clean energy or protecting those purple frogs, there's always this sense of purpose behind his work.
A brilliant mind with a compassionate heart, that's a powerful combination.
It really makes you think, about what's possible when we direct our ingenuity toward making a difference.
Absolutely. And his story also shows that scientific progress, it isn't always a straight line, is it?
So true. I mean, look at Ranjan's career path. It's this winding road from the universe to the sun, then to the moon, back to Earth, and now into the human brain.
And all along the way, he's adapting, taking on these new challenges.
It's like he's constantly pushing the boundaries, never settling for what's already been done.
And I think that's such an important takeaway for all of us, that sense of curiosity, that willingness to explore new things.
Yeah, to never stop learning. It's never too late to embark on your own intellectual adventure.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap up this deep dive into Ranjan's incredible world, I want to leave you with a question.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Think about this. If you could choose any scientific field to explore deeply, what would it be? What sparks that curiosity in you?
What problem would you love to solve?
Let Ranjan's story inspire your own journey of discovery. Go out there and explore the vast universe of knowledge.
That's it for our deep dive into the extraordinary life and work of Prabhat Ranjan.
We hope you enjoyed the journey.
Remember to stay curious, keep learning, and never stop exploring.
Until next time.
Keep diving deep.